Market conditions remaining bullish. In a bull market, current rank of the bull market is at 2162, still continuing to climb. As I've mentioned in prior videos, this is approaching the level, the highest it's ever been, around that 22 level. That 2162 number represents this line right here in the long-term trend. 21 level right here. Now this chart is a 1-year snapshot essentially of this chart right here. So we're just basically looking at this amount of time on this chart from this arrow, which is this crossover right here, as this uptrend has been continuing. This is the trend that we're focusing on here. So we certainly know over the last 20 years that this is as high as we've been in a long time, as high as we've been in the current trend. And that doesn't necessarily mean that it's going to reverse immediately, but it certainly does mean that the probability of it continuing to climb without some kind of a retracement starts to get smaller and smaller. Let's take a look at momentum. Momentum continuing in that bullish overall uptrend. Also seeing breadth. Had a nice move on breadth yesterday, and that could be significant for one more push higher. I also saw a big pop in Russell 1000. Actually, might have been Russell 2000. We'll look at that chart. So you're getting small cap stocks that may be starting to participate in some breadth, which hasn't been happening in the trend within really the last 6 weeks. And sentiment, we're in that upper extreme range as well. So we've got 1, 2 in the extreme range. Momentum. So momentum could push higher here as well. Let's take a quick look at buy-sell ratio. Buy-sell ratio had a nice pop back to 1.76. You can see those spreading apart, widening apart, and you're getting green moving this way, red moving this way. That's an expansion that we want to see. We want to see this widen out. Whether or not we'll get to this extreme or not is yet to be determined, but nonetheless, we're moving in the right direction for continuation of that overall rally. Sentiment also getting a little notch higher right here. Let's take a look at the indices here. S&P 500. So if we take a look at well, let's look at each of these here. NASDAQ 100, which is the triple Qs, continuing that overall uptrend. Possible bottoming tail bar right here with some support. We'll see if we get confirmation and follow through. If we get a breakout here on NASDAQ 100 for tech, that could also continue to accelerate this rally. And saw a really nice pop here on Russell. So here's Russell 3000, continuing that nice move, very similar looking to that S&P 500, and then Russell 1000 also here giving that confirmation move. Russell 2000, nice pop. So that's the one I was actually looking at, that chart that looked like good confirmation move, higher possible breakout pattern. We also got a move on bonds, both short-term bonds, which is SHY. Well, let's start with TLT. The long-term bond up 1% yesterday, confirmation bar, still in that hold range, but moving in the right direction. We want this chart pattern. Let me move this off. Let's go to this perspective so we can kind of see that. You can see that support area happening here. The overall uptrend is here, retracing back inside of that 50% zone and now moving this direction. So if we can start to clear some of these upper ranges in bonds, that's what we certainly would want to see. That means that interest rates are moving lower. So let's continue to keep an eye on that. That, as long as this is moving higher, that's going to, at least it's not going to work against equities. This is kind of what the equity market is now anticipating. They want bonds to be moving higher at these levels. Let's take a quick look here at the commodities, actually sectors. Let's start there because we've had all sectors now move back out. There's nothing in that sell range. They're all in short-term uptrends. Just a couple of laggards right here. So again, a solid breadth now across the board for current market conditions, which is a good thing. We're seeing also the commodities. We're seeing USO and move back to the signals. This overall uptrend, we've been talking about this range now right here above this. Now this is still in a downtrend. You can see it's connecting this direction, so it's counter trended this direction. We've yet to move in that overall uptrend. If we shorten up the time frame just a little bit here, we could actually get that trend, see what that current trend is here. So now we're about, it's about that 3-month time frame, roughly a little bit longer than that. What I've done is I've just taken that 6-month time frame and shortened up the move right here so that we are only looking at this trend now. So the bottom of this trend and the top of this trend in USO. So we do have a momentum trade happening here. It's a little bit in that shorter time frame, but certainly within this uptrend of USO, we're seeing that continue to move higher. So a frame of reference, this upper momentum zone for USO, that's what we want to see. We want to see it continue to hold this 75 range, maybe consolidation and move higher, at least for an upward trend. For my gas tank, I really don't want it to move higher, but overall for the price of USO, that is trending to the upside. And then let's take a look at gold here. Gold moving, potentially breaking out here, just been consolidating inside of this base after this uptrend, and looking solid for this continuation of the overall uptrend. Muscle stocks here, let's take a quick look. Some interesting names here in the Muscle Mini group, GLYC. Muscle Minis, if you notice the pricing right here, these are all relatively low price stocks, around $5 or less, but they're solid movers, big strength rank movers. At least is ranking them by them. There are a lot that are not, but it's an interesting scan to look at as well. But GLYC, interesting price pattern, solid confirmation bar on massive volume, uptrend retracement back to that 382 corrective level. Now again, back up in that momentum zone. Keep an eye on GLYC, medical drug stock, interesting price pattern. That's from the Muscle Mini scan. If we look over here to new buys, we've got a couple of others here that are continuing to do well. We've got Eli Lilly, some of the mega cap stocks that are also continuing to perform. Obviously, that's been in that drug space, so continuing to do well. AMRX, nice pattern here as well, bouncing off of the momentum zone 236 line. So this is now connected to this high and this low. Now it's in this upper point. You can see it just moved lower, retraced, tagged that area, and then some confirmation bar on increasing volume. Nice looking pattern there as well. That'll do it for today's update. Everyone have a fantastic day today.